Ready, Anne-Marie? This is a special board meeting of the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority. It is Thursday, February 24th, 2022. It is 4 p.m. Mr. Lawrence, do we have any unfinished business?
No, Mr. Chairman.
We have one business item regarding the Ogdensburg International Airport. Is that correct?
Yes, item A1, Ogdensburg International Airport, rejection of EAS bids.
Okay. Mr. King, well, the resolution hasn't been introduced yet. If you would speak, please, to the Facilities Committee meeting that met yesterday? Yesterday, in 17th?
Sure. The Facilities Committee met yesterday and we reviewed those bids that we received. And the one, basically neither one of those bids actually work for us due to us being used to a twin engine service, and the one bid which did provide twin engine service actually doesn't qualify as an EAS carrier, so we aren't even able to look at that. So we as a committee would recommend that we reject the bids that were proposed to us for EAS service. I believe that was the resolution that we had from that meeting. Is there something else you're looking for, Sam?
Nope, that's perfect. Thank you. Who would like to move the resolution?
I'll so move.
And I will second.
Seconded. Any discussion? Megan, you were not here yesterday. I don't know what information or questions you might have, but is there anything you would like to ask? Actually, any of us were there yesterday.
No, I think it's pretty clear, Sam.
Good. Then if no further discussion, Anne-Marie, call the roll, please.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Lawrence, anything else?
Mr. Chairman, I think the board or the Facilities Committee mentioned that we do need kind of some direction forward, and that possibly I think maybe a resolution that kind of gives us direction on a path forward with that. And I didn't know if you want to have some discussion, or we could kind of propose the verbiage here to give us a resolution as to how we should proceed.
Yeah, you know, we had a discussion with what our options are. One, of course, was to accept the bid. Second one was to reject the bids, which we just did. And the third option was to, actually there's part of the second option, we can go back out to request bids through the federal DOT. And an additional option that I was not aware of until we had a discussion with US DOT is called a alternate EAS, AEAS. And there was some discussion on that. It's preliminary, but I think, again, Mr. King, I refer to you. Your knowledge of what the AEAS might do for us, if you'd like to offer a comment.
Sure. The alternate EAS, at least from what we learned, is a chance for us to look into options other than what was presented to us, to still try to offer twin engine service to Ogdensburg International Airport. And that doesn't say that we don't go out for bid, but we would direct our staff to look into the alternate EAS service, and trying to find a carrier through that as another option to what we look at to provide service in Pittsburgh. And what we learned from that was there is a way, I guess, or a path that we could explore that. So I think that's probably the direction we would. I know our facilities committee kind of felt that was the direction we should tell our staff to go forward, but we're presenting that to the board.
Okay, Jen?
No, I mean, Dave stated it very well and clearly. I think that is our next step in moving forward, is exploring alternate EIS. And
So would you,
need a resolution.
yeah, what should we put together, a resolution just directing us to explore the alternate EAS and report back to the board?
Yeah, so we'll have another, right, Dave, we'll have another facilities committee
Actually,
meeting.
we can do it right here, since this is considered a full board
Okay,
meeting. A resolution can be submitted by any board member at the present time. Before we do that, yeah, I understand where the facilities committee is coming from. Well, I want to give Megan an opportunity to ask any questions of any one of us who attended that meeting yesterday. Again, I wasn't aware of an AEAS until our options were given to us by US DOT. So this is relatively new, different, something we haven't done here at the Bridge and Port. But it's my understanding, as a result of our discussion, that this is used by several other airports around the country. So it's not as if we're leading the way on this. And it has been successful. So if that's the direction we want to go. But Megan, first of all, if you have any questions.
Yeah, I do, Sam. So I guess I'm just wondering, so we're going to direct the staff, or we're proposing that we direct the staff to look into this. I guess, where do they start? Do we know, like, to start with the DOT and see what they do? Or what does that entail, I guess, is my question.
Dave?
You want me to answer that? Okay, so yes, as we learned, there is an airline that does provide alternate EAS service, and we are alternate EAS options at other airports, and so we would look at first contacting them. It's a bit of a Megan, it's a bit of a difference. There's some difference in how things are paid and how things are billed versus the EAS, and I don't know if I need to get into that, but because essentially it's still a grant, just like EAS. So there is an airline that does this. I think we would reach out and contact that airline and see what kind of service we could provide, and
Okay.
then we would return to the DOT and tell them where we're at, I believe. So
I gotcha. Are there any local airports that we know of that use the AEAS?
I believe none in New York State.
Not in the Northeast.
Yeah.
I believe a number of them, 8 or 9 throughout the country. Some in the South, I know, was it Tupelo, Mississippi, and
There are a number, it's Mississippi, there's one in Alabama. Generally, they're in the South, but this company is willing to move north.
well, yeah. And what really, Megan, what we need to do is, it's relatively new to all of us, so we want to do our due diligence and possibly reach out to those airports, and then also kind of get as much information as we can to make a good decision. But it looks hopeful just from what we heard, but we're relatively new to it. But I think Dave explained kind of base-wise of where we are right now. And we really need to know more. And I know the facilities committee was interested in exploring that. So that's kind of the reason for, the request for direction.
Sounds good. I think we got to explore all the options to try and get the best outcome for our airport. So sounds good.
Yeah, I know the facilities committee feels like this is a good, at least a good option to explore. So,
Any more, Jen?
Yes, no.
So, we could bring a resolution from the floor with the wording that the board will direct staff to explore the AEAS and report back to the board at our next meeting.
yep, do you want one of us to do that? I assume so. What's that?
You like to offer that as a motion?
Yep, I would like to. I'd like to, you want me to reword that, or you got, we'll use your wordage, that's fine.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, we would like the board, the board would like to have the staff move forward and gather the required information on the alternate EAS and report back at the next meeting. I mean, I believe this will happen pretty swiftly, so.
And I'll second that motion.
Motion was made and seconded. Any further discussion? Not, Anne Marie, call the roll, please.
Mr. King,
Yes,
Ms. Quirk Pittman.
Yes.
Mr. Burns.
Yes.
Ms. Whitten,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Lawrence?
No, that's all for today.
Any concluding comments from any member? I don't see anyone online.
No,
No?
there's no one else online.
At our last meeting, I think I had commented and others, in no way is this any negative aspect of what Boutique Air does. They're a fine airline, a fine company. We, of course, wish them well. However, in our plans for our airport and for the traveling public, we think we need to do everything possible to provide jet service to a regional hub. And that's what we're trying to do here. So there's nothing more than that. We think that's what the Bridgman Port Authority, Ogdensburg International Airport needs to do to grow for the future. And that's why we're doing what we've done today. Anything else? Is there a need for executive session?
I don't, there is?
Yeah, there
Yes,
is.
there is. Okay.
Regarding a possible contract
Okay.
with a corporation.
So there's a need for a board executive session under 105 item F of the open meetings law to discuss matters leading to the appointment of a particular corporation.
I don't anticipate any action to be taken, but there's items we need to discuss. Okay, the motion for executive session,
I'll move.
second.
all those in favor say aye.
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 We move into executive session. Then we can move to adjourn the meeting.
I'm sorry.
No? We good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're out of executive session. It is 4:33 PM. Mr. Lawrence, any business to conduct?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, if not, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Also move.
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay, good.
Made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, we stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.